Augsburg is where I started to really figure out my purpose, what it means on an inward level and what it means like out here in the world level. And I remember being here my first year of college, but I started here in like 2008. And I remember I had this professor, this crazy professor, this guy, Jeremy Myers. I wrote a paper, an essay in his class, and he was like, yo, you think you should look into this other major? At the time, I was like a psychology major. I wanted to be a clinical psychologist. And he said, I think you should look into being a youth and family ministry major. And by far did not want to do anything like that. That was the last thing that was on my mind. I grew up in the church. Dad was a pastor. At that time, I wanted to get away from the church. So glad that I made the decision to actually trust him and take some youth and family ministry classes, because I found what I would call like some purpose and something that made me excited about life. And a big part of today is this big question around vocation. What is your calling? Hopefully by the time you get out of this, you'll have a sense of what it means for you on a personal level.
Who made the swan and the blackbird? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around her with enormous and complicated eyes.
Vocation can actually be something that reaches out into space and grabs you and pulls you back and roots you and plants you right where you are right now. So I want to talk about vocation that way. So there are 2 points I want to make today. First point is that vocation is ultimately not about you. Second point that I want to make today is that vocation is absolutely about the right now and the right here. We should be guided in all our works by this one thought alone, that we may strive to benefit others in everything that is done, having nothing else before our eyes except the needs and the advantage of others. This universal impulse to show up fully in life for the sake of the neighbor.
Now she lifts her pale forearms and early washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done?
Sometimes we talk about vocation as my meaning and purpose. It also needs to be tethered to love for the neighbor. Back when we took out the class, Lisa said that in physics, she teaches her students how to do creative problem solving through empathy without judgment. That the only way you can solve problems creatively is by learning how to take others' perspectives on those problems. Vocation is not trying to tell you to be a doormat. Sometimes what your neighbor actually needs is for you to say no. You can live your vocation out in this moment, sitting here right now, or vocation is in a real good place.
Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
My vision for what it means to be a neighbor would be just being there for somebody, you know, having resources available for people who need it.
Vocation to me, it means like something that you are called to and something that you keep being pulled back to. It's something that brings you joy, it's something that makes you happy, it's something that you feel like you're contributing to society kind of thing. That's a vocation to me. Like in here, like you feel like I'm doing a good thing, I'm helping people, and people are helping me.
It really is about serving God and serving others, and then essentially bringing glory to God through serving others.
And for me personally as a Christian, in order for me to discover what my vocation is and what my calling is for me to get closer to God and talk to Him, ask questions, dive dive deeper and hear from him and see what that calling is.
To me, vocation is kind of like your purpose, your sense of calling, what you're meant to do. And I guess to me, my vocation is being there for people, being someone to lean on, and just going with the flow, I guess.
At what point people start doing things for each other instead of just doing them to feel good about themselves is when our society will like definitely change. If we immediately say to ourselves, okay, I'm doing this for the greater good of the community, for this person, then I think that things will be a lot better. Cheers.
What an adventure today was, discovering all these undercurrents of vocation and the different realities and different experiences from all the different people around, like what is vocation. Overall, I was able to like really pull this beautiful fabric together today of like what vocation is. I was thinking about vocation before like a purpose, a calling, and yes, it is. But that's only a fraction of it. It is how do you show up every day inside of vocation, though. I was brought back to a conversation I had with a friend of mine, and me and my friend were talking about love and how love is like the purest form of love is when you're present, and not just like in the space, physically in the space, but like mentally, emotionally, like eyes open, heart open, mind open, like you're really there, and you can feel the presence of love when someone is like totally like giving themselves to you, and where you can totally give yourself to them, and like that's what vocation is. Like vocation is living into this fullness of love, into this presence of love, and where you can be here, right now. And that was like a big part of the message. Like, it's not over there, it's not over there, it's like it's right here, right now. So it was really cool to like pull all those threads together and just get this realization. Vocation is an everyday thing. It's what you live into, it's what you wake up into. You may not know it, you may not even realize it, and it's like you're doing it though. Thank you, Augsburg, wholeness, and balance.
Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?